Let's kick things off with a question that seems almost, too simple to even ask, but hiding behind it is one of the deepest mysteries in all of science. What is the true nature of matter? What is the world really made of? And to really dig into this, we're going to start with something you probably see every single day. So, what is a table?
I mean, the answer feels obvious, right? It's a table. It's brown. It's hard. It's solid. You can see it. You can touch it. This is the world of our everyday experience, the world of appearances. Pretty straightforward. But here's where things get weird. Think about it. If you close your eyes, that brown color, it just vanishes. If you stop touching it, that feeling of hardness is gone. Now, of course, the table is still there, but what is it really when all our sensory experiences of it are stripped away? That's the puzzle we're tackling.
This brings us right to the heart of the problem, this strange conflict between what our senses are telling us and what reality might actually be.
Okay, to really get a grip on this, there's a key term we need to understand: sense data. It's just a fancy way of saying the raw information our senses feed our brains. Things like the color red, the feeling of warmth, or the sound of a bell.
So here is the big mental shift you have to make. That brown color and that feeling of hardness aren't in the table. They are sense data, which means they are experiences happening inside your brain. What we perceive isn't the object itself, but an effect that the object has on us.
So if our senses are basically creating a movie inside our heads, what does science say is actually happening out there in the real world? Well, you might want to buckle up, because the world physics describes is a very, very strange place.
What physicists will tell you is that the real table isn't brown or hard at all. It's actually a huge collection of particles, basically a swarm of atoms buzzing around in empty space. The world out there is just matter, moving according to cold, hard mathematical laws. Just look at this contrast. It's pretty stark. For us, there's the feeling of hardness. But for a physicist, that's nothing more than tightly packed particles repelling your hand. We experience the beautiful sensation of light, but in reality, it's just an electromagnetic wave motion.
And this is the part that really messes with your head. That wave of light traveling from a lamp to the table, it has no color. It isn't bright. And the particles that make up the table aren't hard in the way that we feel it. All of those qualities are translations, creations of our nervous system. They exist only in our consciousness.
There's this fantastic analogy that just makes it all click. To a blind man, the physics of light makes sense, but the experience of light is a total mystery. He could understand the math of waves perfectly, but that subjective experience of seeing the color red, that's a world he can never, ever enter.
This massive gap between our experience and reality, it creates a really fascinating situation. It basically means that, in a weird way, we're each living in our own unique version of reality. Let's explore this idea using the map versus the city. The world of colors, sounds, and textures that you experience, well, we can call that your private space. It's a reality built entirely from your personal sense data, and it's completely unique to you. Nobody else can see through your eyes or feel things with your hands. Here's a super simple way to picture it. In your private space, if you look at a coin from an angle, it looks like an oval. That's your direct sensory experience. But in public space, which is the objective physical world, we know that the coin is always a perfect circle, no matter what angle you're looking from.
The philosopher Bertrand Russell just summed this up perfectly. The real space of physics is public and shared by everyone, but the apparent space we actually experience through our senses, that's totally private.
So, what's the connection between these two worlds? The best way to think about it is like this. Science gives us a perfect map of reality. It shows us every street, every connection, every single structure with incredible detail. But we are forever stuck just looking at the map. We can never actually step into the city itself.
Okay, so all of this leads to a pretty staggering final conclusion about what we can and maybe cannot truly know about the universe we live in. After all of that, we're right back at our original question, but now it feels a whole lot heavier. If the table isn't really brown or hard, if those are just experiences in our minds, then what is the stuff of reality? What is matter?
Now, don't get me wrong, science can tell us a ton about matter. It can describe its mathematical properties, its structure, how it's all arranged in space-time. We know how it behaves and interacts with other matter with incredible precision.
But, and this is the big one, here's the final, humbling truth.
We know exactly what matter does, but we have absolutely no idea what it is. We know its structure, but its intrinsic nature, what it's like in and of itself, remains completely unknown to us. Let me put it another way. We have the complete blueprint of the universe. We know the exact arrangement of all the pieces. We just have no clue what the pieces themselves are actually made of. It's like we know the grammar of the universe, but we don't know the meaning of the words.
And so, we end right back where we started, but hopefully, with a much deeper appreciation for the mystery. The next time you look at a simple table, remember that ghost in the machine. We know its mathematical blueprint, its structure, its location, but the stuff that's actually there, well, that remains the ultimate and maybe unknowable question.